So the best way to keep your pattern on anytime you're working with a small little something like this, obviously you know how to do the long seams, but this here is a cross grain seam. Anytime it's this kind of carpet especially, you can run a row in it crossways. Basically as easy as you can long ways. And try it out, just find a nice spot to make your seam and try it out. And this particular carpet, come right down here real close. I got it cut right at the edge of this little square. My next cut, you can see where it is. That way, these tall fibers are actually gonna overlap my edge right here. So that's where I'm cutting it. I'm actually coming over here because I messed up a little bit right here. You see these loose strings sticking out right there? So I didn't get cut deep enough and I finished it with my knife, and therefore it pulled the backing loose from that. So I don't want any loose strings on this cross cut. So recutting it, scooting it over one pattern, making a recut, and want it deep enough to where it cuts clean all the way through the backing. Watch this, I'll do it right here and I'll show you. I'll push down hard enough where it will cut all the way through on my first pass. That way I don't have to trim it up with my knife and cause problems again. Okay, now we have all connected fibers. It is a tufted carpet, so these are all down into the backing, attached into the backing. But if you pull on them just a little bit, you will pull those tufts out and have ends of strings where they got cut inside of the backing. Pull it together here. See how it does with that overlapping long fibers right there. This thing should completely disappear right there. Ta-ta. You cannot see that at all. Come in close. Come in close right there. So when that gets put together right there, it's going to be completely invisible, not visible, not able to be seen, invisible, like you got a blindfold on. You will not see it. So as soon as that started to pucker up there, boom, stop pulling, because that's got your backings together. Lines are all lined up real good. Place this heater. Heater. Okay. Let this thing do its magic for a minute and pull it in tight as you roll it. Make sure nothing's overlapped. Keeping tension with my left hand on the kicker, just keeping tension on the carpet, pulling it to the seam so it don't work its way apart as I roll it. And we're fixing to put the cooler on it. The seam are down now, but first check that out. That's what row cutting some pattern carpet will do for you right there, son. These lines running this direction in my head seam is actually starting to run off a little bit this way on this piece here. So you can see I got a pucker pushed up here. What I'm gonna do, I stretched it over using this super awesome crane mini stretcher. And I'm going to get it lined up about right here, I guess will be good enough. Get it lined back up over here, and then I'll come back and work this down, and that'll straighten everything back up. I'll keep this bubble here as I put this together, get it dead on again here. Then once I do this, it's got nowhere to go but down and correct. Just wanted to show how to correct it if it starts running off on you. Good. When? Ready? Okay. Started in the center again. This was 36 foot long, so it's actually ran off quite a bit. with this little bitty 1/2 inch or 3/4, whatever it is. So started in the center, and I've got like 2 pulls with my iron, and it already started running off. I took my knee kicker, came up here. You see this one side on the right, I kicked it up and stuck it on the tack strip, so it's not going to move whenever I take my little stretcher right here and I have to crank down on it. Now it's going to move that way instead of pulling that way. So that's got to be secure so I don't move the whole piece. That was the point behind that. After I bumped it up a little bit, enough to stick it, I walked back down there and I was like, well, I'll be doggone, it matched it up. Me kicking it, done enough to match it up. So, there we go. Now we can carry on putting this seam down. If I have to do any more maneuvering with it, I could definitely take that little guy now and do some stretching around to make it all match up. The thing is, start in the center, work your way out, adjust as needed. There's no pattern. I don't care what anybody says, there is no perfect pattern match. So do the best you can with what you got. Gabby, what we're doing? Okay, so unfortunately, I do not have time to do a proper walkthrough. We are running behind. I'll come through here and turn off the lights and let you see as I walkie-dock. But anyway, this is that. And look, you don't see any seams anywhere. It is about right at 5 foot off of that wall. As a matter of fact, it should be about right there is where the seam is, about a foot on this side of that door. So it's somewhere right down through here. Take a look at the lines right there. You can't see a break, a curve, or anything in them. Everything turned out just absolutely beautiful. Really happy with these results. Looks good. Definitely tired. Been a pretty long day. It's a few minutes after 6. Today is Wednesday, so we are pushing it. Here is the other one. You can see there's a cross seam. You barely can see it. I'm curious. Unfortunately, the light is, the windows are, it's dark outside, so I can't see, but you can see the lines run right straight on through there. It did just wonderful. You might be able to see a tiny hump if the light was coming in that window. I don't know. Unfortunately, it's dark. Right here is another head seam. Right there, the lines go right straight on through there. Everything worked out beautimous. And somewhere about, actually it's right there, because when I cut the corner down, there was actually part of the seam tape that went right around the corner there. So the seam is right here somewhere. And looking at the lines going across, you can see a little shade difference, it looks like there. But nonetheless, it's all matched up really good. Anyway, that be it. Lights out and getting the rock out of here. Thank you guys once again for tuning in to the Daily Grind. Until tomorrow, FBSB's out.